All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a medical mystery that honestly seems to defy all logic. It's a puzzle that gets right to the very heart of how our liver functions, and more importantly, what happens when it breaks down.
So, let's get right into this paradox. Think about it for a second. Your liver's damaged, right? It's failing to process toxins. So why would one of the main symptoms, dark urine, be caused by a toxin that has been processed? It just doesn't add up. How can both of these things be true at the same time? Well, this is a classic riddle in liver pathology, and to solve it, we've got to take a look inside the factory. Okay, so before we can figure out what's going wrong, we have to understand how it's supposed to work. Let's look at a healthy liver cell, also known as a hepatocyte. And the best way to think about it, just imagine it's this super efficient factory working 24/7 to process a particularly nasty toxin called bilirubin.
And this is the assembly line in action. It's a perfect one-way street. First, in step 1, the toxic stuff that's unconjugated bilirubin gets pulled in from the blood. Then, step 2, the cell works its magic, attaching a new molecule to make it water-soluble. And finally, step 3, the now harmless product is pumped right out into the bile ducts to be removed. It's clean, it's efficient, and every single step is absolutely crucial.
So that middle step, conjugation, that's the real game changer right there. It's basically a chemical magic trick. The liver takes this toxin that the body can't get rid of and turns it into something water-soluble. Why does that matter? Because now it can be flushed out of your system. Without that one step, the toxin would just build up. And that's a huge problem.
All right, so that's the healthy factory. Now, what happens when the whole thing goes into crisis mode? Let's say a virus, like hepatitis, starts attacking those liver cells. Suddenly, the whole finely tuned system is just thrown into absolute chaos. Now look, the damage isn't just one little broken part on the assembly line. We're talking about a total system failure. The front door for taking in the toxin is jammed, the main processing machine is sputtering and slowing down, and, this is so important, the exit door for shipping the final product out, it's completely busted. This is what we call a shuttling failure. The whole transport system has collapsed. And you can actually see the scale of this disaster in a blood test. When these liver cells get damaged, they basically burst open and spill their guts, these enzymes ALT and AST, into your bloodstream. In a situation like this, it's not uncommon to see those levels shoot up more than 10 times the normal amount. That is a massive red flag signaling that cells are being destroyed on a huge scale. Okay, so let's circle back to our big question. If the whole system is grinding to a halt, if uptake is down and processing is reduced, how in the world do you get dark urine? Remember, dark urine is caused by the processed stuff. This brings us to the big reveal, and the answer to our paradox is all about a leaky exit door. Right, here is the absolute key to the whole thing. Even when the liver is badly damaged, the conjugation process doesn't just stop cold. It's reduced for sure, but it's not at zero. You've still got a few machines on the assembly line sputtering along, still managing to process some of that bilirubin into the finished, water-soluble form. And here's where it all comes together. Follow this flow. Step 1, a little bit of bilirubin still gets processed. It becomes water-soluble. But, and here's the kicker, in step 2, the exit door, that special pump to get it out into the bile, is broken. So now you've got this processed, water-soluble bilirubin just trapped inside the damaged cell. It has nowhere to go. So what does it do? It leaks. But it leaks out the wrong way. It goes backwards, right into the bloodstream. And once it's in the blood, the kidneys can easily filter it out. And that is what turns the urine dark. So this whole leaky exit door thing isn't just a cool biology lesson. It is the absolute key to making sense of the lab results you'd see from someone with this kind of liver damage, which we call hepatic jaundice. It's like reading the damage report from the factory. And that lab report really does tell the whole story. You get this mixed picture for bilirubin. You've got high levels of the unprocessed, unconjugated stuff because the liver can't keep up. But you also have high levels of the processed, conjugated stuff because of that backwards leak. Then you see those sky-high ALT and AST enzymes from all the cell damage. And of course, you find bilirubin in the urine. That's our dark urine right there.
So, when you see that specific combination, dark urine plus that mixed high bilirubin, it's like a direct signal. It's telling you the problem isn't a supply issue before the liver, and it's not a simple plumbing clog after the liver. Nope. The problem is inside the factory itself. The machinery, the liver cells, are what's broken.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? Now that you understand how this whole thing works, it really makes you think. Knowing how this delicate machinery can break down makes you appreciate just how vulnerable our liver really is. It begs the question, what things out there in our everyday lives, from viruses to even common medications, are posing a threat to this incredible but fragile system?